We are back from Bayamo, the lovely island of Cuba. And Bayamo wasn't on my bucket list. It really wasn't, to be honest. Never even had heard of Bayamo. But I can tell you that having gone to Bayamo, I got to go back to Bayamo. And I might get a little emotional as I think about what happened there because, as Mary mentioned, I think you'll see her video, I was changed. I had some things that God had to teach me. And he taught me a lot of good lessons, the lessons of contentment, the lessons of satisfaction, the lessons of dependence on him for provision. These people, our brothers and sisters there, they were suffering. They really had want every day. That was the norm. Poverty was the norm. And for us here in the United States, we have so much, and we're privileged. And to go there and to interact with people who are able to worship God despite the hardship and the suffering, that was really a life-changing moment for me. And so I just have to say, if you haven't gone on a mission trip, go. We worked our rear ends off and worked very hard every day, but the joy that we got from coming close to God in that way and serving in that way was really something I'll never forget. So with that, I just say, come join us on the next trip. I'll be on the next one, hopefully, and God bless the people of Bayamo.
Pastor Kevin had asked what was one of the things that stuck out with us most. I think one of those things would be the mountain church that we went to visit. We had to go, travel. I mean, it was a long distance, walking up over places that weren't really what you would call everyday traveling. It was hard sometimes, and I was thinking to myself on the way there that this is probably, the church might be attended maybe once, twice maybe during the week, but I guess, and probably not very many people. But according to what the pastor said, there's like 75 people who come to visit that church 3 times a week, and that was quite amazing. And when we got there, there was we met the pastor and his wife, and they sang songs. We got to interact with them. That was wonderful. One of the maybe humorous parts of visiting was our bus driver. He was lucky we all came back alive, but that was another story altogether. It was just amazing to me. The transportation was mainly, probably 75% consisted of horse and carriage and bicycles, and they all rode in the street. Everyone rode in the street, and that was kind of traveling behind them with that bus driver. The speed he was traveling, you would have to hold your breath a lot of times, and pray hard. You had to pray hard. But it was amazing. I loved going there. I loved the people. I loved working alongside them. The church service was amazing. The people who went on this Cuba trip, it was wonderful. I thank God for the blessing of being able to go.
When I think about Cuba and the chance that we all had, or our great group that we had to go to Cuba, I really think about what I intended to do when I got there was really to work hard, help God's people, and be able to just model what it's like to be a Christian. I did all that. I was very happy to do that. But I got to do so much more and to really enjoy myself so much more and watch the love of God in so many people. I got to see what God was doing on the mountaintops. So that was incredible. But also while I was there, God worked with me on a little lesson. So I just want to share quickly about what God talked to me about when I was there. So I was without my luggage for about almost 3 days. And I'm a person who's used to kind of being in control, taking care of myself. I've taken care of myself for a long time. But here I found myself in a situation where I really couldn't. There was really no way for me to take care of myself. So God worked with me on letting go and giving in. And through all of that, God's people, actually God, through his people, took care of everything that I needed, from a toothbrush to underwear to 6 lovely Cuban outfits that I almost got to wear, but then my suitcase came. But really, the whole experience was incredible. I would go again tomorrow if I had the chance. So, Pastor Cal, if you're going to do it next year, let me know. Thank you.
Trip. 30 years old, married with kids. The most amazing part about the trip for me was I had no expectations. I didn't know what to expect. You hear about all these different things where you interact with the people, you physically build things, you learn things, you see God's grace and amazing, just the joy that He can portray through people. And we always think about we go to do things for other people. I think the most amazing thing about this trip was what Cuba did for us. We physically helped them build a physical place of worship, but what was most amazing was their love and gratitude and contentment and humbleness truly humbled me. If I had to sum up the whole trip, it would be contentment and humbleness that I realized I did not have. And through this trip and through the people we were with and the people we were working with, we learned all this. But even more amazingly is I actually got to take this trip with my dad, and it was his first missions trip as well. What really hit me on this trip, and excuse me if I get a little emotional here, what really hit me on this trip was I grew up in a Christian home, always admiring my mom for everything that she taught me, being a homeschool teacher and teaching me everything, but I always kind of put my dad on the back burner, and God showed me on this trip that I had been misjudging my father for 15 plus years, and I had to ask God for forgiveness for that, and I had to ask my dad for forgiveness for that. But it also showed me how ungrateful that I've been, and it showed me how grateful I need to truly be. And it's amazing that we got to take this trip at Thanksgiving, at this time of year or just before. And Thanksgiving shouldn't be one day; it should be every day. And the things that we got to experience while we were there, the hardships, the joy that these people have even in their time of hardship was absolutely amazing. If somebody said, "Who do you want to be like?" I'd be like, I want to be like a Cuban. No, I want to be like someone who knows that they have nothing, yet they have everything. And I want to try and teach anybody that is willing to listen that, as well as my personal family. And I look forward to hopefully many more mission trips where I can help, again, grow God's kingdom, but to see what God can do, not only in my life, but in everybody around us. It was truly an amazing experience, and if you've never been on a trip, I highly recommend you go, but go with an open mind and go seeking what God will teach you, not having an expectation that you have to achieve something. Just let God flow through you and really experience what He can do if you really open up your heart and your mind to what He can do. Thank you.
Hey, Auburn Hills Christian. I just wanted to say thank you so much for sending your team to work with us. We worked so hard this week, everybody, tying rebar, mixing concrete all day today in the hot sun, and we were able to pour this section of the roof behind us. And I just want to thank you for all of your help, everything that you've given to missions. We were able to pour the roof over the pastor's study, and the roof that we poured is going to last for hundreds of years. And I just want to thank you for your investment in missions and for sending this team. God bless you guys.